So here we go, we're on to our next game where we have the All-Stars versus the Wild Dogs. So you were talking about this one earlier. Pretty excited for this one?
Well, this is going to be a big one, Kat. It's two top teams. The SA All-Stars has got the combination of some really skillful players with the Wild Dogs, a team that really looks like they're getting the right rub of the green at the moment where it matters most. So this is going to be quite a good contest.
And it's the All-Stars with a big kickoff to begin with, and it's contested well, but Dogs take it very easily in the end, and they're carried into the middle. They have numbers out onto the right-hand side should they use them. A nice wraparound play. Got it messy to the wing, but judged to have gone forward in that. Not necessarily the start they would have wanted, is it, Charles?
Yeah, a little bit of over-eagerness too early. We want to see a bit more patience from these teams, especially these younger teams that are coming through. We've seen it so beautifully with the women's team. You can see there's a maturity and understanding of how you take on these games, and I think with youth they can get a little bit excited, but I'm sure they're going to learn a lot in terms of the rugby 10s format. They can challenge you on all levels, Kat.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, young players out there, first time playing 10s, first time in the under 20s. Lads have been in it, but there's a great pick off the scrum, and it's absolute wheels going out to score this one. What a score!
Wonderful swerve there by number 2, Valera Breitenbach. He showed a clean pair of heels, and how about the step there just to court the defense wayward, and wonderful start for the SA All-Stars team. I always say it's always a very difficult thing to assemble a squad and get them going in the same direction.
Yeah.
But the way they've started and the way they've built up shows that they're going into the right direction.
Well, if this is how they're starting off together, just think of where they can come, because they have, it's an All-Stars team. They've been thrown together. They've done some sevens training, of course, but first-time 10s, and they're really seeming to not just have their individuals skills, but they're really clicking, and it is working.
Yeah, you don't always see it happen, especially with All-Star teams, because you've got too much brilliance in one team, and not always the ones that are prepared to do the dirty work, but there's a quite good understanding, and I always give it to good coaching as well. Yeah. You've got to let guys want to do the dirty work, but a wonderful start nonetheless.
And another great kick-off receipt from the Wild Dogs, where they're hoping to do something a bit more than they did last time, but still looks a little bit lateral in the way that they're passing across the line. They've actually ended up going backwards off of that play, so they'll want to punch up some of their bigger guys, and that's a better gap gone through there, but offloaded to the All-Stars. But given the penalty, they'll be relieved about that.
Yeah, they were not 10 on that occasion. Again, just a little bit of a lapse of concentration, but a good opportunity here. Made the ball set up for them. Fantastic little kick through. And it looks like that was a bit of an early tackle to Kat.
Yes, that's going to be a penalty try, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so that should be a penalty try. Wonderful little bit of individual brilliance there with a kick through. And normally when it comes to those types of penalty tries, you can be very fortunate that he didn't get a yellow card as well there. Well, it did look like he got a yellow card there.
Well, they had to.
Normally they have to penalize when it comes to penalties like that, but a wonderful little bit of play there to get themselves back into this match.
Oh, it was really nice. A lovely kick through, and then the control off of it as well. Such a difficult skill, but that looked effortless for him. But oh, look at the pace here. The show and go. He's right close to that touchline, but he's managed to stay in. A beautiful offload. Oh, he hasn't. He hasn't. The flag. There's a little flag up there that we can just see in the corner. I thought he'd done enough to stay away from it, but some good footwork there.
Yeah, you mentioned that white line there. It's probably the best defender of the day.
Yeah,
but I absolutely, but I've absolutely enjoyed the feet there, just the maneuvering around the space. And this All-Star team looks like they are littered with a lot of talent and a lot of boys that are keen to give it a go, which is really, really positive for a tournament of this nature.
Absolutely. And Reese Heaton going for the short one there to just make sure that they keep that ball as it goes down the line. Not pretty. They got change from the kick before, so they've opted for that one again, but this time gathered by the All-Stars. And there's a messy breakdown at best over in that far side with who's going to come out with it, but it's the All-Stars that do as they settle back into this. Nice wide pass in, but it's spilled in the contact. Referee opts not to play the advantage there, but to go back to the scrum for the Wild Dogs.
Yeah, it almost looked like momentum has shifted now in the Wild Dogs' favor after the SA All-Stars really had a good start. And now it's about trying to keep their composure, understanding how they wanted the defense, but the way the Wild Dogs has been attacking, they are a real threat, Kat.
Oh, absolutely, and that was a Hail Mary pass, to say the least. It's gone, missed everybody, but they'll want to tighten that up because they want, you know, when you're that close to the try line as well, when the scoreline's so close, Wild Dogs will want to be more composed with that. You know, you want to get it wide, of course, because there's space out there, but you want to get it in the right way.
Yeah, I hate sounding like a stuck record, but you really got to be patient when it comes to being in the red zone of your opposition. It's, again, you want your big men to, or your big players rather, to be direct and try and suck in that defense. We know the equation is simple. You will get the space on the outside, but it's about being calm and collected, especially going forward into this match.
Yeah, and there we go. So there's an early push there. We've seen a few of those in this tournament so far. So they've opted to go quickly, but a big shot going in there. That one made a shudder up here. But they've managed to retain the ball. All-Stars potentially going off their feet there in that ruck, but they get away with it, and they still have possession now. Nearly stripped in that contact, but has gone backwards, so the call is play on from the referee. So Wild Dogs have got it back, and what are they going to do with it this time? Nice direct run.
No, leave it now.
Good breakdown, and then just looking to lift it. Gone backwards, I think. That one's gone forwards. Oh, and they've wasted possession again. Disappointing.
Disappointing indeed. You can see the enterprise, we can see the enthusiasm. Just the last pass not finding hands. But again, it shows that the youth sometimes just gets the better of them. But I love the fact that they are also trying to keep the ball alive on every occasion. Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
But in this format, we want to see that these young men taking chances, trying to go for what seems to be impossible. Because, you know, sometimes you just need a little spark to generate some confidence through all of the charges that can hopefully lift the team to lift their performance, especially with the scores being so tight, Kat.
Exactly. There's 2 points in it, so both teams super close in this. There's not much separating the sides currently, but at the minute it's going to be the All-Stars who are asked to play it out, but Wild Dogs have done a fantastic scrum and they've stolen it, and they're going out to that right-hand side where they've got Gas out there, possibly thinking about a switch play, but just breaks out the tackle. And he gets the score.
Wonderful try. I think that's number 13, Vian Loom. He's shown a clean pair of heels. So strong in the contact, maneuvering his way out. I love the fact that he didn't go and die down to try and find ground first, but still fighting with his legs and showing what a threat he is on attack. And again, you give this Wild Dogs team a sniff of a turnover ball, they will really punish you, Kat.
Oh, yeah, that was really good on the turnover. Really clinical as well. A great score and finish in the end there as well, but just good pace. And as you said, he didn't go down. He was strong. He stayed quick. He's not the biggest guy, but he managed to really burst through that contact. So strong and physical.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Kat. And normally when you have a good try score, you want to back it up with the following play, and again, kicking the ball out on the full. With just, let's see if my match is good, just over 1.5 minutes left in this first half. I'm sure the coach will be impressed with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, nice flat pass out to that left-hand side, but the cover defense from the Wild Dogs is good, but they've had to put a fair few numbers in there, so there's going to be some space out on this right-hand side if they can get it in there. Opt to take into the middle.
Okay, so own player. Use it now.
Wild Dogs choosing to leave that breakdown and just stay numbers on their feet so they can cover the field well. And it's recycled nicely.
Good to go. Stay on side.
Coming out to this right-hand side. A good little footwork there, but some desperate last-ditch tackles. I think he had his fingertips on him there. Like just almost one of those, like the shoelace tackles, is that tight. And a good dummy and go, but he's caught. He hasn't fooled anyone there. I would say off feet in the breakdown there, which it is. but they were playing with the advantage, so they've opted to tap and go quick. Taking it out to the left.
No hands. Last man feet, stay on side. Use the ball for me, please.
And then, just a little bit of lack of concentration there, and we've seen how dangerous the Wild Dogs can be on that turnover loose play, so this is where they like to play. They want to move it. They've opted to go for the short side, but they have numbers through there. They've kicked it through, and we've seen how fast they can be, but there's a foot race for this one, which the All-Stars win, but again, he's gone to that touchline. This has been a topic for you, hasn't it? You've been really hot on this.
Yeah, it's been helter-skelter at the moment. Just a lot of turnover ball, but I think it's been a fair half in terms of the exchanges. The SA All-Stars started absolutely brilliantly, but the Cape Town Wild Dogs showing the experience with this format. We know they are a very proud franchise. They've got some great coaches, Justin Ben, that has been in the mix with all the teams, and wonderful way for them to finish the half and get quite a good lead going into the second.
Yeah, they can feel comfortable with this, I feel, with that lead. But then I wouldn't rule out the All-Stars, because they have some really talented players. We've seen they have pace as well. So what do you think is being said in the Wild Dogs huddle?
Yeah, it's about all just trying to come back to basics. I see Dick Mears there with the chat, Springbok former coach. Got a lot of experience, and he loves the attacking side of the game. Loves to encourage his players to go for it instead of being conservative. So you can see the law is being laid down in terms of not letting down on the pedal, wanting to go actually a gear higher. And it's going to be important to see, especially how they're going to utilize the changes to bring that fresh energy to keep on that intensity.
And as well as being a quality coach, he is the most humble, loveliest of guys. Like, just genuinely, I interviewed him 2 tournaments ago and was just blown away by how he was just as humble as he, and Wild Dogs were absolutely smashing it and doing really well, and we were saying, oh, they're fantastic, and he was like, yeah, like, very humble with it all, and but yeah, no, what a guy.
Yeah, we see so many former international coaches really opted to go into the grandstands, not wanting to be exposed again from level 1, and that's Dick Meir. He's got a passion for the game, he's got a passion for the youth, the young development, and just the way he's speaking, you can see there's so much passion, so much fire, and you want a guy like that to almost garner that experience that he has, and to give those tricks that sometimes you can only learn if you've been in the game as long as he's been in it.
Yes, 100%. yeah. The little things that you learn that you can only have from experience, which you can then, take forward to these young lads. But there's certain coaches, both in the men's and women's game, where when they talk, you listen. And there's a lot of them that are here on this weekend.
Yeah, we've been blessed with some top coaches, and even with the SA All-Stars with Louis Boshoff, the coach as well there. So I'm sure he will also give his 1 or 2 cents, will help his team just to almost find that little bit of confidence they had when they started off. But with the score being 55-14, it's going to be a wonderful finish in the second half.
For a second, I thought you said 55-14. I was like, where have I been? I've been in a dream. I've missed 50 points.
I saw you were silent there, but it was 5-14 for the Wild Dogs.
It's like, oh, wow. So it's been a long day, but I didn't miss 50 points.
If that was my score, then I pack up my earphones here, Ken, and I'm on my way back home.
That's really, really bad maths. Yeah. But here we go. So we're into the second half, and the All-Stars are going to want to attack, and they do it really early on here, and there's going to be a foot race. Nah, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, just so unfortunate with the last pass there. There was some space on the outside. We know the number 2, Valerio Breitenbach, he scored the first try in the first half, and almost sort of having a replica possibly in the second half. And he's been quite the live wire in his pack and trying to keep those guys honest, especially around the fringes. So he will need to put up his hand more, get into the channels to get the ball. I'm sure with his, you can see with this physique, you can see he's got a nice strong low center of gravity, which is always helpful when it comes to most parts of what a rugby player needs to really flourish in this format.
Yes, absolutely. And fast as well, which is handy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Forward!
And then looking for a link there. What a line! Incredible line in there.
Strong set piece, Cat, for the Cape Town Wild Dogs as the number 16, Carlisle Hawkins, coming in with a sharp line like a hot knife through butter. And again, there's no substitute for pace, and when somebody makes a decision to choose a line, so clinical, so effective, fantastic 5-pointer.
Oh yeah, what a line. Just that out to in, and as you said, when it's someone as quick as Hawkins, no one's going to catch him. Can't catch him from there, no way. Beautiful line.
Yeah, we spoke about him in the first half. He's been such a menace in the threat, playing in that centre role, and you can see that experience from the 15s he's brought in. Indeed a wonderful finish.
And then All Stars looking to play out from deep, but that scoreline now just creeping away from them. But that's a good carry, but tackled well. Leg drive in that contact. Wild Dogs told to leave it. So going out of the back now. Smarter play here, opting to go wide. They have been making ground as well. Offload is loose. But they gather it back. There's a player down in field, but All Stars are going to play on because that one's gone backwards. And look at the pace here. Some absolute gas here. Really great work from Chianti Piana. Nearly. I was going to go for it so confidently.
Fantastic finish there, Chianti Pinar. The surname of our first Springbok captain who lifted the trophy, Francois Pinar.
Yeah, amazing.
The namesake, yeah. But just showing again a clean pair of heels. Wonderful step on the outside, almost sort of goosed in his way through that gap. And you can see Pinar almost sort of like have a little bit of a fullback intuition in terms of really understanding how his strengths work. Absolutely wonderful finish.
Yeah, it is, because sometimes it's not just about out and out gas. It is having that ability, as you said, to goose, to like trick a defender, to make them slow up, to then speed back. So that was really nice there. That was not nice. So that we don't want to see. When you've just come and got a score, you don't want to then be doing that.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few teams do that. They get a good score, and then the next play, they're not as effective as possible, and this is what this SA All-Stars team will learn in the 10s format. You can't for one moment have a lapse of concentration, because it can cost you big time.
Absolutely, and I think that was a very lovely way of putting it. Not as effective as possible, rather than that's not good. Like that, it's not good at all. Oh, we've got a cheeky little kick through here and a lovely regather into the corner. Went for the tap, but didn't quite get it. But we've got Wian Loom over for the score.
Wian Loom scoring his second try of the afternoon. A little bit of a cheeky little kick, but it looks like the ref says that the ball was knocked on Cat. I don't know where the ref saw that, because it looked like he had quite a clear pickup there for a moment. So interesting call nonetheless.
And I got the pronunciation right and everything.
Absolutely.
He stole it. He stole my moment. I did that in the heat of the moment as well. Referee.
I think Cat after this match will get him around the corner, buy him a coffee and give him a nice little good strong instruction there. But real good enterprise from the Wild Dogs, and an option here for the All-Stars to get out of their 22.
Well, yeah, they'll be really pleased, but oh no. Okay, so it's been turned over. Wild Dogs here really close to their line, and they have the advantage now. Referee's arms out, but the score has gone over. Hans
Verstappen getting the 5-pointer. Yeah, you can see with the Wild Dogs, they've got some real physical forwards that loves those route one around the fringes, keeping them honest, and that's what normally happens when you are too aware of what happens on the outside instead of keeping your guard, bodyguard, almost channel, keeping it honest. And what I'm really thinking about this All-Stars team, Cat, they will really learn a lot of valuable lessons of what it takes to not only just play at this level, but to play in this format, that it's not as easy as what sometimes people think it is.
Yes, I think you can come to it, and as you said, you've got these like awesome players, they've got the superstars, but it's how it clicks together, and Wild Dogs at the minute are really, really clicking, and they're playing some fantastic rugby as well. But let's not count the All-Stars out yet, because as we said, they do have those brilliant individuals dancing close to that touchline, though your pet hates. But here we go, down the outside. Not quite the pace to go there, and he has ended up going into touch there.
Absolute physical stuff, real kamikaze sort of like cover defense. And the Wild Dogs looking to speed up things again, Kat.
Yeah, they've gone for that quick line out, and they're in behind. Thought about kicking it, but he's just toying with them here. Like, really great running, good offload. That looks a little high, I would say, into that one. Maybe referee will look at that, and he has. Yeah, got it.
You can't measure the effort today in terms of their defense. It's been absolutely ferocious. But again, Wild Dogs speeding up play, just showing again their intent.
And that's a nice nudge here. Is the bounce going to be kind or cruel? And it ended up being a nice bounce.
Oh, absolutely. Again, so good on the half play with number 12, Lyle Lewis. I think you would have preferred that English name there, Kat.
He beat me to that one.
But a wonderful finish nonetheless, with a nice little dink over the top and getting the favorable bounce, but also adjusting his line and working through the contact and being brave enough to stretch over. Again, showing the character of the player, and a wonderful finish just to get, again, a big healthy lead with just less than 2 minutes on the clock.
And, it had that feeling of inevitability, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like, Wild Dogs were going to score somehow. You knew it was coming, whether it was through their forwards, whether they were getting it wide, whether it was from a really nice kick. You just felt they were ready to score again.
Yeah, the Wild Dogs has been in real good nick as a team. Their combination and understanding between backs and forwards has been really top-notch.
One off,
It's been
please,
wave
one off,
after
one
wave
off.
in terms of the pressure that they've put this SA All-Stars team under. And when you play at that intensity, the gaps will open up more often than not.
Absolutely. And then a big kick-off, got opted short, but it's a good take in the air. Got him down safely. And let's see what these All-Stars can do in these final dire minutes of the game.
Let go, no hands. No hands.
Bit of a wrestle in there.
Stay on side, bud. Stay on side. Step you. Thank you.
Thought about going left, but then put boot to ball in behind, but covered nicely, and then that's a nice pass into space there, and some good footwork, but does end up being isolated. That looked lateral, let's say, for the pass, and definitely in touch here. That one, because they were right in line with that one. Yeah, that one was,
That was definitely a touch. Good call by the assistant referee. I think number 17, Carson Phillips, he knew that, so I think it was more of just showing the crowd his fleeting footwork. But you still got to do it within the laws.
Yeah, I mean, because that wasn't a tiptoe in touch, that was both feet over the line in touch. Yeah, not going to get away with that one.
Yeah, with the score now 33-12, we know that the win will go for the Cape Town Wild Dogs, but I think that the SA All-Stars must not count out the effort. They've been really industrious and have been brave at times also in their performance today.
And they're playing now with the knock-on advantage, and they do have numbers on this right-hand side if they can get there. And some real gas here. But it's not to be.
Yeah,
Keante Pinar again just being closed out with a cover defense, but still a penalty and still an opportunity here for them, Kat.
Yes, and they can get the ball again and have another go here, and that's a good line in there. A dummy fooling no one. You gotta love those, the over dramatic ones. But defense not fooled by that, and out the play, and out the back play there. There are numbers. Route 1 rugby, straight through them. Pick and go coming in here. There's a fight, but they got been caught up. If we can get a knee to ground, they can say tackle, which they have. Lovely line, great straight in, and you have to say rewarded for their effort, because you could feel that building, and they did deserve that because they have been a good team.
Yeah, it was an absolute brave performance. Loved the +1 there when it came to the first receiver. And a good try by that man. Let's see if he can do it. Cat at number 10, Keante
Was that the number 10?
Yeah, it was
I
the
thought
number-
8, James Nero. No, did he not have 8 on his back?
It was number 10, Keontae Pienaar scoring his brace.
Okay,
And
excellent.
a wonderful finish that I think has been a brave performance by this SA All-Stars team.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I think they stepped up, but at the end of the day, it was the Wild Dogs. You know, they were class, and I think they really did play a fantastic game there.
Yeah, overall a wonderful watch for the viewers, and a score that will really benefit the Cape Town Wild Dogs coming into the playoffs on Monday. And lots to learn for the SA All-Stars. It will be a wonderful, wonderful closing to what has been an absolute fantastic day of rugby.
To the next